Hey, it's Zev D'Amatos for Joystick.com, and with Forza Motorsport 3 about to round the corner for its October 27th release, we thought it'd be a good idea to show you how the import process works to bring the content from Disc 2 into the main title. So if you weren't aware, Forza Motorsport 3 does ship with 400 vehicles on the disc. However, not all of the vehicles are going to be available to people right away. You actually need to import some from the second disc, which is just content. Now that content can be loaded onto your hard drive, so you have to make sure you have enough room. So we're going to show you that process now, but before we do, we're going to show you pretty much what you're going to see if you don't have that content installed. So when you go and select a car from a race, you're going to go into any of the menus and you'll see that the cars have been locked. Now some of the cars are locked because they're downloadable content for VIP members. It says VIP content, which you can access on the marketplace, but most of the content, the majority of it, will be locked because it's actually on the second disc. So here, for example, we're showing you Ferrari, and you'll see that you'll get a prompt saying the content's not available because it's actually on the second disc. So we need to install that second disc. The same thing goes with maps. Some of the maps, there are 3 circuits in the game that are actually only available if you install them. So, for example, if you wanted to play these maps online, you wouldn't be able to because you don't have them loaded. However, if you wanted to play with someone who had vehicles that were loaded onto their hard drive that you don't have, you'll see a vehicle in place of the one that they're actually using. So you'll still be able to race with people, but you won't be able to go on those specific maps because obviously they can't stream an entire map online. So it's a pretty smart way that they're trying to do this process. Now when you actually start the Forza Motorsport 3 for the very first time, you'll get a prompt asking you if you want to install the game. If you don't decide to do it at that time, it'll be on the main menu like we showed you a little earlier, and that way you could just go and select exactly what you want to do. So let's go to the install process and show you how that works. Now, if you're like the majority of Xbox 360 owners, you don't have a lot of space left on your hard drive. Luckily, I actually have a 120 gigabyte hard drive, so it was easy for me to do this process. But it will require 1.9 gigabytes to install everything, as you can see. But the good thing is you don't have to install everything at once. You can pick and choose what you want to install. So what they've done is they've broken it down based on region. You can install car packs based on the Asian region, European, American. You could just install those vehicles if you wanted to separately, or you can install the circuits themselves if you wanted to just race on those circuits, but you didn't care about the cars. The circuits are the heavier of the content. It's about 730 megabytes, as you can see there. The vehicles range around 300 to 400 megabytes for each pack. So if you have enough room, you might want to install everything at once. It makes it a lot easier for you. But if you don't have enough room, you can do it this way, where you can select exactly what you want to put on the actual main copy of the game. So for the purpose of this video, we are going to install all of the content at once. Make sure that you're not planning on playing Forza for a little while because it's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to show you the process happening here, but of course we're going to speed it up. We're not going to make you watch 15 minutes of a progress bar, although that sounds really exciting. But once you're done doing that, we'll tell you what to do next.
Installation is complete. Please reinsert Disk 1 now.
So after listening to the nice British man and you put Disc 1 in, the content is now loaded on your Xbox 360 and you're free to use any of the vehicles. Everything in the game is unlocked from the get-go. They want you to be able to try any vehicle you want in Quick Race. Obviously you won't be able to purchase them in your career mode because you don't have enough credits, but they'll be there and you'll actually be able to check them out. Some of the vehicles, and we're going to show you an example now, are still locked because, like we mentioned before, it's VIP content. And one of the ways that you can get a VIP membership is by purchasing the special edition of the game. So if you want to do that, you'll get 5 extra vehicles. If you have an arcade unit and no hard drive, then you won't even be able to access all of the vehicles in the game. Many of them will be locked because they're on that second disc. You need to install that second disc. So make sure, decide what you want to do. If you want those extra 5 vehicles, we have a listing of all of the vehicles that are locked through the second disc and through that bonus content in the body of this post. You can take a look and see what you want to do. If you want to get the special edition for those extra vehicles, you could do that. But you have quite a few vehicles at your disposal, even if you just install that second disc. And of course that second disc has the extra circuits in the game, which have quite a few tracks per circuit. The Japanese circuit, for example, has 14 tracks in it, one of which has over 100 turns, which is great for drifting. And actually you can do that reverse as well, so I guess that's considered 2. That's going to do it for this quick guide to the Forza 3 import process. Make sure you know what you're getting when you pick up Forza 3 on October 27th. This is Avdamatos, and for all the latest and greatest and everything in the world of video games, make sure to check out joystick.com.